Hi, are you interested in a career outside? My name is Terry Cleaver, and I've got the one for you. I'm the Land Surveying Technology Instructor at UA Community College in Marlton. You're somewhere different every day in this career, and sometimes that appeals to people. We consider ourselves, and others consider us to be, expert measurers. We do everything from land boundaries, construction projects. We take measurements from aerial photography. We even do forensic surveying. And forensic surveying is essentially where you're uncovering evidence. You could certainly say that for boundaries, but we could also do that for crime scene and accident scenes as well. So a little bit out of the norm of what you might think, for surveying. And then of course we put all that together in a mapping type situation. Some of the equipment that we use here, I'm going to start right here with the automatic level. They have digital levels now that allow us just to punch a button. But with this one here, we read this rod that's behind it here, through here. And the purpose of this is we have benchmarks set around, and essentially we are looking to transfer an elevation from that known concrete embedded brass cap from there to wherever we're working on a job. So this is what we do with this one, and that's really its only purpose, is to carry an elevation from one point on the earth to the other. Then our next piece of equipment that we utilize here is called a total station. It is the one that you probably see on the side of the road a lot of the time, that we turn angles with it, and we measure electronic distances. Now, an electronic distance essentially is taking electromagnetic energy from, emitting it from the instrument itself, going to a prism, which is just a glorified mirror, and bouncing it back. And it goes through a process, fairly complicated process of developing a distance in real time. All we're doing is punching buttons. But we like to kind of go behind the buttons here and explain to you what's happening in order to get that distance as well. We put all these points together and we make maps from it. And that's basically what we do with any equipment. I think today the workhorse of our industry is GPS, and it is the one that utilizes satellite technology. A little bit like this, in that we're using electromagnetic energy in order to develop these distances, but the distances are coming from basically 12,000 miles away, or the energy is coming from 12,000 miles away as these satellites orbit the Earth in a very concise pattern. So I don't really want to go into all that. I'll save that for class. But it's a technology that allows us to go to a place and collect data right on that spot. Now we do all these with a data collector. With these last two that I've showed you, all the information is just downloaded directly in real time into what we call a data collector, which is, for all practical purposes, a handheld calculator that will do essentially anything that a PC will, just a whole lot smaller screen. So some of the other equipment that we don't have available, but is now available in our industry, and certainly in Arkansas, would be high definition scanners and drone technology. And I think everybody probably at this point knows about drone technology in some sense, but what we utilize it for is to take pictures of the Earth, and we develop measurements from those pictures. The photography basically is what it is. And then the high definition scanner, so it's probably the newest and greatest. It's a piece of equipment that looks a lot like this one right here, only about twice the size. And it starts and it goes up and down, and it just makes its way across, going up and down. And it's taking shots, and it's taking so many shots, that it actually produces an image. So if we were dealing with a building, the front of a building, after we do the scanning of it, it would actually draw a picture, or it's more like an image of it. Fantastic software involved in that. Really something that we would like to have at some point soon, but you know, I just wanted to let you know about it. That's the field stuff. As far as the office part of it, we certainly, just like everybody else does, we use computers. And these computers have software, CAD programs. Typically what we use here is AutoCAD and Carlson. And Carlson is really specifically for surveyors. And essentially everything that we do in the office allows us to replicate what we do on the ground or out in the field, and it's for our clients. We produce a drawing that we can put on paper and for our clients. Some of the opportunities that we have for work these days, engineering and surveying firms, of course. One industry that you could work for would be RDOT, the Arkansas Department of Transportation, certainly utility companies, basically any industry that has infrastructures that needs to be placed in a design position, like bridges, just a couple of examples, bridges, utility structures, things along those lines. We also have a club here that we call the Student Association of Surveyors. We abbreviate that as SAS. We do some things, but our main thing is we are a part of the Arkansas Society of Professional Surveyors. That is a professional organization that represents surveyors in Arkansas. Everything that they do is about surveyors here in Arkansas. And it's a professional organization, and they allow us to be a part of that, which is a great thing. They have a couple of conferences a year, and we are a part of them. We're able to go, and we sell some things like shirts and caps and coffee cups and things like that. And what it allows us to do, it allows us to make some money so we can pay our way down there, but also it allows us the opportunity to talk to these individuals that potentially could hire us sometime, the students. So very good networking opportunity. We do have a licensing situation here in Arkansas where it's like a 4-step process for becoming a professional licensed surveyor. The first step now is education, and you can get that education here. Essentially, what it does is we have the Associate of Applied Science, or the AAS, in Land Surveying Technology that is accredited by the Arkansas Board of Licensure. It has 60 college credit hours, typically 3 to 4 semesters. Say you went to school somewhere else and you had college algebra, Comp 1, Comp 2, and things like that. You could bring that in, potentially knock a semester off. But it will be, the way the classes are set up, a 3-semester, a minimum, a 3-semester course. We also have an internship here. It is a 3-hour class where you could potentially work for someone in the field and get that experience that you would never get in the classroom itself, practical experience. So that's something to think about as well. It really helps prepare you for the second step, which is the Fundamentals of Surveying exam. That once you get through with this, once you get the AAS, you're allowed to take the Fundamentals of Surveying exam, which is that second step toward licensure. You then acquire the experience that the board requires of you, and then number 4, it's that professional level exam that would license you as a surveyor in Arkansas. And with that, you could set up your own shop. So potential for having your own business is certainly a probability here. So surveying as a career, I think after you graduate here, from the folks that I've talked to that go to work, we're looking at $14 to $16 an hour, which gets you right around the $30,000 a year salary for starting out, which is not too bad. If you license, that easily doubles, if not more. Opens other career opportunities, related businesses. The ones that I always think about are anything to do with real estate or land title companies too. I know some surveyors that are involved in land title companies as well. It certainly challenges your intellectual being, and it allows you to work with cutting edge technology that I've talked about. Again, my name is Terry Cleaver. I'm in my 18th year. I'm a professional surveyor, have been for well over 20 years now. And I've actually been in the surveying business for 38 years. This is my 38th year of being associated with land surveying. So, with that said, I think that what we have here and what the knowledge that I've acquired through the years, we can give you an excellent opportunity to succeed with a career in land surveying technology. If I can ever help anybody, talk to you one-on-one, I'd be more than happy to. You can find all my contact information on the website, UACCM.edu. Thank you.
To learn more about academic programs, financial aid, and the enrollment process, go to UACCM.edu.